Hi, today I wanted to talk to you about how emotional trauma affects our mind and body and how to heal from it. I will also talk about my own traumatic experience and lessons I learned from it. When we encounter something traumatic, let's say you're in the woods and a wild animal wants to eat you. Amygdala, which is the emergency alarm of our brain, triggers a fight-or-flight response. Your body is flooded with stress hormones that prepare us to defend ourselves. After the crisis is over, you are supposed to return to normal, but sometimes it doesn't happen that way. The stress hormones may continue to affect your body even if you are no longer in danger. If the trauma is severe and you don't deal with it the right way, the effects of it can last for weeks, months, years, and in some cases they last for the rest of that person's life. In these cases, people experience symptoms of PTSD, which include nightmares, flashbacks, anxiety, panic attacks, difficulty concentrating, and some others. PTSD can also negatively impact immune system and hormonal system. And your body cannot stay alert and ready to fight all the time. It gets exhausted at some point, and that's when depression comes. People who experience trauma are 4 times more likely to develop depression and 12 times more likely to commit suicide. I had a traumatic experience when I was 16 years old, and right after it happened, I went into denial. I remember that sometimes I had flashbacks, but most of the time I felt like I didn't know about what had happened, and it was very, very strange. And I wasn't doing it consciously, I wasn't doing it deliberately. I just felt like my brain was hiding these memories from me because they were too much for me to handle. I had most of the classic PTSD symptoms, and I also remember that I didn't feel like myself anymore. Everything inside me became very weird and twisted for a long time. After that, I did what society and so-called strong people tell you to do, which is no matter what happened, just suck it up, set your goals, work hard, and that's how you win in life. So I did exactly that. And fast forward 6 miserable years, I realized that that experience was still hurting me almost every day. I didn't care one bit about it intellectually, but my physiology didn't care about my intellect at all. I was still having flashbacks when I would relive this experience all over again. And these flashbacks were able to ruin my entire day. I was never able to be still and peaceful. I didn't feel whole, and I didn't feel free. At some point I understood that what I was doing wasn't working. Staying busy and focusing on my future wasn't able to help me stop reliving this nightmare. So I started researching and reading up on this topic, and I finally understood what the hell my brain wanted me to do. All these years I was avoiding thinking about what happened, and I never really talked to anybody about it. So my brain was flooding my body with stress hormones and showing me flashbacks, and it was its way of asking me to finally attend to and deal with this traumatic experience. Your brain needs to know that you are fully aware of what happened, that you took steps to avoid the situation in the future, that it's safe to finally calm down and move on. To do that, first of all, you need to stop running away from it. You need to Feel everything that this situation makes you feel. Just sit in it for some time without any judgment. You can also journal. Writing things down can be really cathartic. This first step is absolutely essential, but very often it's not enough. It's also very, very important to talk to another person about it, to articulate it in language, to feel that your pain is validated. You can do this with a therapist, but it doesn't have to be a therapist. Not everyone can afford therapy, and even if you can afford it, good specialists are hard to come by. You can talk to anybody you trust. I personally talk to my mom, I talk to my friends, and I talk to some of my co-workers. So it wasn't a secret anymore. And after that, the magic happened. I finally felt that I truly don't care about any of this anymore. I finally could think and talk about the situation without relieving the fear, the sadness, and the anger. I felt like a huge weight was lifted off my shoulders. So basically, you've got to expose yourself to that memory through the conversation with a trusted person until you stop reacting to it emotionally. The more you do it, the better you'll feel. After you do these steps, your brain will most likely stop sending your mind and your body into chaos. And obviously, you've got to change your behavior so you don't get into the same situation again, if that's possible. A giant number of people have been through something traumatic in their lives, like maybe bullying or emotional abuse, physical, sexual abuse, and so on. And a lot of them are carrying this dead weight throughout their whole life. We all have got to recognize that if the past is hurting you for years, then that's dysfunctional, and that you can actually deal with that and you can make it go away. So that's all I wanted to say today. Thank you for listening. I hope it was helpful in some way. Subscribe, like, and share to spread mental health awareness. Goodbye.